Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is episode 6 of our Transport Fever 2 Let's Play. If you guys are new to this series, definitely check out some of the older videos. Without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into it. So we're just taking a look at our Tennerden to Carshalton passenger line. The reason being that earlier, when I was doing some decorating, trying to make some of these lines look good, we actually got some updated passenger cars. So we got these compartment cars. They can go up to 37 miles an hour, so a little bit faster. Doesn't really matter on the speed because our BR53 can only do 31. But they do hold 11 passengers as opposed to the 8. So I figured we could get a couple of these in here. So let's see, this train currently can hold 56. So why don't we bring it up to 66? We'll make it that nice dark blue. And now that's what we got. So I think those look nice. It's kind of a nice mix. Or not a nice mix. Actually, a nice mix would be interesting. Let's come in here. Let's see if I get rid of those. Maybe we do something like that. 62 capacity. I mean, it'll still only go 31. Yeah, I kind of like that. So maybe these are like the first class cars, as opposed to, you know, these which are kind of the economy cars. Yeah, that looks good. I like that. Okay. So now that we got that done, what are we trying to do today in this episode? Well, before we get going, really quick, I had a great comment from Naomi Claire, and it was regarding bus routes. So I went through, while we were kind of waiting for this while I was kind of figuring out what we were doing, and I tried to space out the buses. Let's see if I can grab one here on some of these inner city lines, because they were kind of grouped up and they just weren't working correctly. And then that's okay. You know, it's not the end of the world if they're not working totally correct, but her comment about kind of spacing them out made a lot of sense. So I went through and did that. Now, one thing about this bus route, which I think we could fix, is if I add on another little road here. And then I just kind of take this, maybe not, maybe if I pull it out straight. Let's see if we go in here and I get rid of that. And then I take this road, pull it out straight, and then we add that in there. Yeah, so now these buses will just kind of pass through. And I would love it if these would still take this route in, the skeleton. So for after North Street, yeah, just loop through like that. And I think that that'll work. What it does mean is that when we want to expand these passenger stops to accommodate more people, we're going to have to rip this whole thing out and try something new. But I like how that works. I think that'll work nicely, kind of circulating those buses around. Okay. So, what do we want to do today? A couple things. Kind of an elaborate plan. I'll be interested to see if we get through the whole thing. But here we go. So we're going to start up here in Hoddesdon. So we are going to start producing oil or fuel at the Hoddesdon fuel refinery. And we're just going to use these two, this little group right here. So let's go ahead and get that built. So I want to pass through cargo station in here. And I just kind of want to aim this for future use, because eventually we're going to have a little line running right through here to Ossett from Hoddesdon. So why don't we get that, why don't we go ahead and put the road in first. Probably put that in like that. Maybe get that in there. Then just smooth that out a little bit. Okay. And now let's get this station in. So why don't we add that in there? See how that looks. Not good. It's okay though. We'll back that out. I'll get this nice and flat with the station. And then I'll connect that down to there. Yeah, that looks okay. We could come in here with a bit smaller of a brush and just touch this up a little bit for the terrain. There we go. Okay, and we're going to have a little bit of terrain to deal with as we make this line, but it's not going to be too bad. It's going to be a fairly decent incline up here, and then to get around over to the fuel refinery. But we should be able to make it work, I think. We will see. All right, so let's come in here, and let's add in our... Actually, I'll just add in one pass-through for now. And now let's come out here with a line. And let's bring that out flat. Just for now, just so that we can get this merge in here. We'll get 40-mile-an-hour merge. And then let's pull that back out so that now we can start gaining our slope here. And we're going to make our way right up here to this refinery, fuel refinery. So I will spin this platform around. And let's see, I want to get it in like right here. So let's try and get a road here. See, maybe if I put this road in first. Yeah, and then branch that one off. Okay. So now let's get our rail station in here. Just like that. Let's go ahead and get another pass-through line on there. Quick auto-save. Let's get that pass-through in there. So I make sure that time's running. And now we need to connect these up. So before I do that, I'm just going to add in our track here. Make sure that that's nice and flat. We'll go ahead and get another 40-mile-an-hour merge. I think that'll work nicely. And then let's get rid of this. And now, because this is just a pretty consistent slope and we don't have a ton of space to deal with, I might just run it as connect it straight up. So it's going to kind of curve. I know that a lot of our lines are a little bit more thought out than this, but I really don't see, you know, I could take this up. I could come straight up a little bit. You know, I could come up like that. I guess that'll work. And then we could pull this out. Could connect it up like that. I mean, that technically does work. So why don't we do that? Now we're going to need to fix this road here. So let's back that out. Let's see if we can make this a bit cleaner of a connection. Back that out. Try it again from this side. Yeah, that looks much nicer, especially once we clean that up. That'll look great. Okay, so now that that line is established, let's do the same thing on this side. Let's get our track in here. So let's pull out a bit of flat, and then let's merge this in at 40. And then again, we'll back that out so that we can start gaining elevation. I am not going to put in a passenger platform right now, but eventually we will need one. I mean, I guess I could put it in right now, actually. So what if we used that and we put our platform in there? It would mean we'd really have to bend it in there. Maybe if I kind of bring this down a little bit and we put a pass-through rail station in here, maybe 160 meters. Like right there, how does that look? That looks pretty good. And I'm just kind of doing that just for future planning. I wasn't planning on getting to the passenger portion of this rail line yet today. But we may. It kind of just depends on, you know, how we do for time. So let's see. If I bring that kind of in a sweeping curve there. Maybe like that. Carry it on a little bit. Just trying to maintain that 75. Maybe to there. And then we'll kind of flatten out a little bit right there. Pull this straight through here, and then I wonder if I can make that curve there at 75. I can. Okay. But what we're going to need here is we're going to need our merge here. We'll go 40. Back this out, and now let's see if I can make this curve. Maintaining 75. I can. Okay. So that's nice. And now I think we've got a nice, fairly moderate grade going on here. It's still going uphill, but there's nothing we can really do about that right now. So let's pull this out. Keep it flat. Merge this in at 40. And now let's take a look at our terrain. So we're on this terrain level here. And we could maintain that terrain level, but then we're going to have to drop down. If you look at this here, kind of like... So let's see. If I look up here at this contour layers, you can see that where my cursor is. So where this track is going to be 103 meters. And this down here is at 21. So we're going to have to drop 80 meters to get down there. So with that being said, let's start to drop down a little bit. So we'll kind of carry this around like that. We'll drop this down a little bit more. And now you can see we're still just not we're not dropping down quite fast enough. So let's bring that to where this eventually will be 56 or 75 miles an hour. And we're going to go with that bridge. So let's add that in there. I'll back this out. And let's bring this... Let's see, do I want that to be fill? Can I delete? I can't delete a smaller portion of that, unfortunately. So yeah, I'll just make that whole thing a bridge. That makes sense. Okay, so now we got some track coming around here. And now we need to figure out how to get down here. Now, one thing that we could do is if we look at where we're currently at. So we are at, let's see, 92 meters. if I could get the rail station up on this contour line up here, somewhere around the 55-meter mark, I think that would work. So why don't we do that? Why don't we spin this around? We'll get a 240-meter station. And if we get that in about here, let's see, how does that look? So we're going to have to make a pretty quick turn here, coming around this end of this mountain, and then get right into there. But I think we can make that connect to this facility. I think it's close enough. Unfortunately, it means that we're going to have to just kind of run a straight road down here, which I don't necessarily love. It doesn't look quite natural to just run straight down this hill. But it's not, you know, it's not horribly steep. It's pretty steep, don't get me wrong. I wonder if I could get away with running a little bit of a curve. So, you know, like if I kind of curve down there. And connected that in. Yeah, it's not in catchment anymore. If I bring it in a little bit closer. Still not. I mean, even if I could just get this to curve in like that, I feel like that would work a little bit better. Yeah, but still not in catchment. I think it's just that this is really, you know, as far away. Okay, so there we go. So that's in catchment there, and at least that makes the road look a little bit more natural. So we'll go with that, and I'll kind of try and flatten some of this out so that it looks a bit better. Okay, so let's come into here now. Let's get a single pass-through track. And let's get our merge in here. So if I pull this out a little bit, keep it flat, and then merge that in. So now if I come over here, and I just look at our terrain, we need to get down into here. So what I'm gonna do is, let's see, if I make maybe a 45-mile-an-hour bend, and then just connect that down into there. All right, so that's going to be really, it's going to be really steep. So let's try and work this out. So if I kind of curve that into there. All right, so we got some, what are these, trams? So let's kind of bring that up like that. So we'll start a little bit of an incline. Okay, let's back this out a little bit. I just want to make that a little bit, I really want that to line up like right here so that I can run straight off of it. And let's start to bring that up a little bit. Maybe to there. Okay, now let's back this out, because I'm going to need to make this a little bit gentler of a slope. So we'll back that out a little bit, and we need to kind of get up to this height. So if I come up here now, Okay. And we maintain the slope that we had. As you can see that if we maintain the slope that we've already got going, it'll bring us to kind of this point. How does that look for slope? Yeah, that looks much more manageable. And now let's curve around here, and we wanted to try and get a 45-mile-an-hour curve in here. Now, I don't know if that's going to be possible. Alright, so that's 45 there. And now we'll start to kind of go back up on this bridge. Now if I connect it up to there, what does this slope look like? Still quite a bit, so why don't we back this out a little bit further. And now we'll connect that up. How does that slope look? I think I can live with that slope. Okay. So now we got this in there. So we can get this line established. So our first line is going to run from the oil well to the oil refinery. And then do I want it to run all the way down? No, I think it'll just go back and forth between here. Okay, so let's make this kind of a crude color. We'll have this train wait for a full load. And this will be our Hoddesdon crude line. Okay, so now, new line that's going to run from this facility here. Let's go ahead and get another platform on here. Like that. Okay. Actually, we don't need that, because this one's just going to carry on going this way. Yeah, we'll just have them merge in right like that. Actually, now that I think about it, this one really only needs to go on this side. Because, yeah. So that'll work. Okay, so this line will go from the fuel refinery, or the oil refinery, down to the fuel refinery. And again, we'll have this train wait for a full load before it heads down here. But this is going to be our Hoddesdon oil line. Okay. And now you're probably wondering why we want to get fuel going, because I never really explained that. But there are a ton of places around here that need fuel. One of them is here in Osset, where eventually we will run a passenger line, and then later a fuel line. But first off, and this is why this is going to be a big project, I want to deliver this fuel to Hive. I know. All the way down to Hive. And I get that that's going to be a pretty ridiculous project, but I'm excited for it. And the way that we're going to do it is I'm going to run a rail line down around this mountain formation, down the coast, and into Skelton. Right into this Skelton facility, which we need to edit. So I'm going to get probably a 3 track length distance in here. So that's 3. 1, 2, 3. And now I'm going to add a 4th on. And I'm going to delete these ones out. And then we're going to build another set of platforms here. Let's see how many we need. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And we've got 4. And I guess that's as long as we can go. I guess that's as long as we can go from the center. So let's get some platforms on here. And let's get a cargo... I can't get a cargo building, but I can get some of these. So let's get those in there. And I guess we will maybe gain a track in here. So now we've got 2 full-length facilities. And you're probably wondering why I've left this gap here in the center. And man, we're blowing through money, so let's speed this up so we can start to get paid a little bit. You're probably wondering why I left this gap in the center, and it's so that I can connect these up with regular track. And then get a road through here. So now we can get a road going through this giant station. Okay. So that should work really nicely. And now we're going to run our track up this coast, around this formation here, and into this station so that we can get some fuel delivered. So let's just come out here with a nice flat portion of track so that we can make this merge. And then we'll delete that out. Okay, so we'll back this out, and now we will start to run this track. So if we come into our terrain, once again, you can see that the level of this track here is 55, just about. Down here, you know, it's 12 or so, but where do we want to get around this hill? I think probably right around here is where we want to get, you know, around this hill. So this, let's see, 55. Yeah, so somewhere around this dip right here. Okay, so let's start to work our way. So let's see, we'll curve this out. And ideally, I would love for this to stay flat, but it's kind of dipping down here in the center. I wonder if this track is actually dipping a little bit. So let's back that out a little bit, and if I just kind of pull this out, and I have it go flat like that. There we go, that's flat. Okay, so now we can make our merge at 40. We'll back this out, and now we'll grab this and follow our terrain here. And we'll come through here nice and flat. Yeah. And I want this to be flat so that we can get a nice gradual slope going right up here. right through here. So I basically want it to be straight, coming like from here. So let's get this to bow out just a little bit further. And then let's see where we want this straight portion to be. So we'll pull this straight a little bit further. And now let's see how that's going to look. I think that's going to look perfect. So we'll stay flat right up until there. And now we'll start to pull this up. And it's going to want to tunnel. I don't really know if I want that to tunnel. So what if we gain a little elevation back here before we make that curve? So we'll start to gain a little bit of elevation coming through here. Like that. And now we'll make our turn. Right about there. And now if we run this straight, yeah, it still wants to tunnel itself. But it only wants to tunnel itself here. And now we're clipping this road. So let's get rid of that road. And let's pull this out straight. And now it's going to put a tunnel right through here, go right next to this facility, and come up right about there. Okay. And now, what if we do land? If we just cut through there. Yeah, I think I can make that look nice. Not sure how it's going to look here, being this close to this this facility. What is this, a distillery? Doesn't look bad, though. Pretty aggressive cut, but we can kind of terrace it off, and I think we'll make it look nice. Okay. So now we have this good-looking rail line coming through here. And now let's see where we want to go. So I want to maintain 75. And I want to aim right down there, and then I think we'll cut right behind that silver mine. So let's get that in there. And let's kind of start to flatten this out. And let's see what this wants to do for the slope. Okay. So it's coming downhill now. And let's make this fill. And let's bring this down to ground now. So that's how it wants to get down there. This should be bridged. So let's put a bridge in there and kind of see what it's going to do. Yeah, it's going to be really high. But we are maintaining a good grade on this climb. So I think that this is going to work. And I think we can make it look better. By coming through here and just deleting some portions of this. So maybe to like there. And then if I add this back in. And I make that fill. So that'll be fill to there. And is this bridge just too tall? No, I think it'll look nice. I think it'll look good. And then we'll go back to fill here. So this portion will be the bridge. And let's see. So now let's take this down. Until we kind of get down to ground level. Okay. And now let's back out this whole portion of bridge and reconnect it to make it fill. Okay. Really expensive, but I really just want to maintain a good grade coming around this curve here. And now we're back to ground, which is good. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, did I maintain my track speed? I did. This is obviously slower because it's these wooden bridges, but that's okay. And now we're just going to work our way down the coast, get past this forestry somehow, probably cut it right here, maybe get around it through here. We'll have to see. We might have to move that road a little bit, and then work our way down into Skelton. Okay. So I'm just going to wait for a little bit of money to come in. We got our, nope, that's our food train heading back empty. Let's see if we've got any high-paying lines coming in. Probably not. This is our tools train, which does make us over 800,000 when it comes in, which is really nice. And I like the way that this is running. It's how we did this dual track, where this side is only for tools and this side's only for passengers. I really like the way that that's looking. But anyway. Okay. So what we're going to do once we get this linked in here at Skelton, it's going to run down the coast and link in here at this large station, is it's going to come in on this platform right here. And then that train is going to carry through the station, get back onto the main line, and run with fuel down here through Carlshalton. And then we're going to branch off a track and run it over here to Hythe. And I think that that's going to work really well. And look really cool, too. It's going to be a really long line delivering that fuel. Okay. So we got some cash now. So let's come down here and let's start to work our way down the coast. So let's kind of bend this a little bit. Like that. And now we'll stay flat. And is that sloping? I don't think it is. So what if I grab this and just kind of curve it around to there so that we stay on this terrain height? So that's what we'll do. We'll come into here now. And we'll work our way down here. And I think if we're already at this height, I'll come right through here and cut across behind this facility. So that's what we're going to do there. So let's get this established. Just trying to wait for a little bit of money. It'll be fine. I'll just pause this really quick. And let's borrow a little bit of money. Bring it back up to 10. And we will finish up this track. So let me just get that to snap straight. Keeping that nice and flat. Curve it around here. Go flat a little bit more. Bring this up here. We're going to have a pretty good cut through there. And now we'll get through there. Run it down the coast here. And this is trying to drop, so let's back that out a little bit. Back that out to there. We'll have it come out of there like that. Let's see, now it wants to tunnel through there, which I don't love. But I also... So let's come through here and get rid of this road. Just for the time being. I know it's a mainline connection, but we'll reconnect it here in a minute. So let's bring that like that. Make our curve down to here. Bring it straight to like here. Bridge it straight across there. And now we just need to get into Carlshalton, and I should have curved earlier. So let's back this out. And let's make our curve right here. I wanted that to stay flat, so let's try it again. Yep. So just like that. And now we just need to bring this into this platform here. So let's come in here and let's add some sections of straight track, double track, and then we'll merge this in. Let's do a 30 mile an hour merge. And let's get our cross in here before the road. And then I'll just take this single track all the way down here to the coastline. Connect that in. Okay, so now that's all established. Now we do need to reconnect this road here. So why don't I grab just a little section of road. Let's see if I can make a bridge over here. And I can. Just doesn't like that. What if I go with something like that? Could go with something like that. Or that. For a bridge. Yeah, maybe we'll go with something like that. And now I'll back this out and connect this up. So if I just kind of curve that like that, connect that up there. So now that main line is reestablished, and we've got this interesting looking bridge right here that I think we can clean up and get to look nice. Okay, but more importantly, if we let this run again, we have our line established to get this fuel. Oh, actually we don't. Because all that's going to do is allow the fuel to come through this station. What we need is for it to get over to Hythe. Okay, so we're going to need to branch off our track here. So why don't I grab wherever this one merges, right about here. And I think that's not possible because of this signal. So let me get rid of that. And then if I snap back onto there. Yeah, so that's going to branch off there. And that is where we're going to make our curve. I'll have to add that one-way signal back in. Right there. Okay. And this is where we're going to branch off now. So if I grab this and branch off here at 75, we need to make this turn. So let's do that. Let's see, do I need any ships coming down here? I don't, at least not right now. So let's bring that to there. Bring this straight. We'll bring this completely straight across both of these. So I just want that to snap. Okay, so that will make its way across there. And now let's bring it across here. Let's bring it to there. Okay, so this is at basically sea level. Hythe, on the other hand, is at 100 meters. So we're going to have to figure out how to get this to come up all this way. So let's come through here. Let's delete that off. Let's get this, let's see, it looks like over here is going to be the best place. So let's kind of get a little flat road in there. That, and then we'll delete this off, and then this is where we're going to put our station. So let's just borrow a little bit more money, and let's put our station in right here. See how that looks. Not terrible, not great either though, so let's just fix that by coming through here. I'll add this road in so that's nice and flat. Connect it up there. Pull it straight out and then connect that in. Okay, so now that's connected up, and now we can work this rail line down here. So let's go into our terrain view. We'll come into here and add on our pass-through track. And now I'll get a track coming out here that's nice and flat. We'll do a 40-mile-an-hour merge. Let's see, I want to do a nice controlled slope here. And this is not going to allow me to, because this is going to try and do some weird nonsense with the road. That's okay, though. We will make this work. Okay, so let's grab this and let's do a curve. Sloped curve at 75. That's aiming generally in this direction. So there we go. 75, aiming generally in this direction. Now let's see, I want to keep that relatively smooth. So we will. We're going to have to punch through this mountain here. So let's go ahead and do that. And that's going to cost us quite a bit of money. So let's see, if we want to punch through to there, that's going to cost us 1.1. Okay, so we just got a little bit of money. So let's do that. Let's punch through to there. And now, is that coming up or... Yeah, so we'll go to like there. And then if I want to connect into there, that's going to cost us 480 to connect into there. And what is that slope going to look like? Yeah, it's a pretty big slope difference. So unfortunately, I don't think what we just built is going to work. So we'll just come through here, delete this out. Really hard to do with the trees in the way, but we can get it. And what we're going to do is I'm going to come back down to here, and I'm going to work this track first. So let's bring that kind of up to there. A nice smooth slope, I think. And then we'll kind of run it right around here and then connect it in. Yeah. I think that's going to work. And I would love to do it without borrowing a ton more money, but unfortunately, don't think we're going to be able to. Yeah, we're not. Alright, so we'll just bring us up to max loan. And now we'll get this curve in here. So we'll bring this up to 75 miles an hour. A moderate slope. Something like that, maybe. And now we'll carry this up here. Something like that. We will have a bridge. That's okay. Back this up a little bit. Curve this around here. Like that. Maybe to like there. And now in order to get up to here, it's going to want to bridge this whole section for 600,000. And what I'm going to do, because we're kind of hurting on money, is I'm going to allow it to do that. For now. I'm going to allow it to do that for now, and then we'll come back and fix it after the fact. So let's get this track out of here that we already put in. And let's see if we can get a decent connection out of this. And we can. Okay. So now this is set up, and now we can come into Hythe and drop off this oil. So let's get this line established. And this is going to go from Hoddesdon all the way down here to Hythe. And what is the problem? Could not connect all stations. Ah, yeah. So I think this is actually the problem area right here. So what we're going to need to do, remove that signal. Tie this into here. And then add one-ways here and here. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this signal. Let's see. We can make this work. I have faith in us. So let's see. If I grab that there. Nope, that won't work. Okay, so that will work. So we'll make this merge at 40 miles an hour. And then if I come out to here, and let's see, now we need one-way signals here and here. Actually, I'm just going to do non-one-way signals here and here, and I'll get rid of this one altogether. Yeah. Okay, so now that works. This whole thing is set up, and now we can go ahead and get some trains up here. And we are really coming up on time, so I'm going to try and do this pretty fast. So let's just find a nice, relatively flat spot, probably up here. So why don't I grab a track, branch it off here, keep it flat. Pull this out, and then we'll spin this around and add our stop station on there, and then we'll probably have to make a connection here. Yeah, and I did that wrong. Because I forgot that I'm going to need to get a train down onto that rail line. So let's come around here. We'll go to like 40. Spin this around. And now we'll get this in here. So let's spin that around. Add that in there. And now we will need to come through here. We'll connect that in. And now we will need a one-way signal there. Okay. So our lines are established. Let's come into here and buy a train. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this... Okay, so we got a little bit of money left. So let's get one of these. Could a Borsig do it? Could a Borsig deliver the crude? Or do we want a BR 89? Let's go with the BR 89 and let's get... yeah, I can't afford it. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. We're going to end the episode here. And off screen, I'm going to let this game run a little bit, pay down a ton of our loan, throw a couple trains on this line, and we will review it at the beginning of the next episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We did a lot of track building today. Huge line has just been established, and hopefully it runs really well, and I'm excited to see how it does. So until the next episode, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks. Bye.